Hello, hope you're doing great. This is a video regarding the art of negotiation, uh, or the series we are working on with respect to the negotiation. Negotiation is one of the most important skill one should have in every walk of life. So that's why we are exploring it. If you are looking to negotiate or just communicate um, with your colleagues, fellows, clients, boss, or anyone else in life. This is the one of the most important skill you should have. So I already worked on it in previous series, and yeah, but I'm going to restart it from the start and work out on it, and let's learn about it together. So yeah, let's see what we are going to explore in this now. Okay, great. So let's start.
Empathy, and understanding behind. In a world where the loudest voice often gets the most attention, what if the real power lies in strategy, empathy, and understanding the art behind the conversation?
Mhm.
The Art of Negotiation by Tim Castel isn't just a guide, it's a weapon, a step by step map that reveals how to turn pressure into confidence, conflict into cooperation, and hesitation into power. This book will rewire how you think, speak, and win. Get ready to unlock the most underrated superpower of your life. The deal is waiting. The decision is yours. Let's begin. Chapter 1: The Power of Negotiation.
This is just the introduction about the uh, book or the summary start. Okay, and it has lots of actionable points afterwards as well. So bear with this, and in first, he will explain about why negotiation really matters, and afterwards, it will go into the mindset part and then execution part as well.
Why it matters more than you think. Welcome to The Art of Negotiation by Tim Castel. In this first chapter, we lay the foundation, unpacking what negotiation really means, why it matters in every area of your life, and how this book can transform not just your ability to strike deals, but your mindset, confidence, and outcomes. Let's start with a truth many people miss. You are always negotiating. Whether you're closing $1 million contract, discussing a promotion, buying a car, or simply deciding where to go for dinner, you are negotiating. Life at its core is a constant conversation of influence. Tim Castel boldly asserts that negotiation isn't just for CEOs, lawyers, or salespeople. It's a life skill, and mastering it puts the power of choice back in your hands. But here's the catch. Most people never learn how to negotiate effectively. They see it as confrontational, stressful, or something only the naturally persuasive can do. Tim Castel shatters that myth. He argues that negotiation is not about being pushy. It's about being strategic, self-aware, and bold. It's about being willing to ask for what you want and not settling for less. Castle opens the book with a clear message. You can get what you want every time if you learn the skill. That's not an overpromise. It's a challenge. It's a mindset shift.
Yes.
The ability to negotiate means you no longer walk away from opportunities. You walk into them equipped, confident, and ready. Why most people avoid negotiation. Most of us are raised to believe that asking for more is rude or greedy.
Mm.
We don't want to appear demanding. We fear rejection, discomfort, or failure. So, we stay silent. We accept the first offer. We let life happen to us instead of creating outcomes. Tim Castel challenges this deeply ingrained passivity. He says, negotiation is not about arguing, it's about communicating with intention. Think of it this way. If you don't ask, the answer is already no. In fact, not negotiating is costing you time, money, peace of mind, confidence, and opportunity. Castle reveals that people who succeed consistently aren't just talented. They've learned how to negotiate effectively. They take bold action. They speak up. They position themselves for success. That's not manipulation. That's ownership. The truth about great negotiators. Here's a secret Tim Castel wants everyone to know. Great negotiators are made, not born. It's not about being extroverted or intimidating. It's about preparation, clarity, and mindset. Castel himself admits he wasn't naturally persuasive or fearless. He developed the skill through repetition, trial and error, and a commitment to growth. What separates average negotiators from great ones is not technique. It's belief. Do you believe you deserve more? Are you willing to challenge the status quo? Can you confidently say, "This is what I want, and here's why"? Castel's own journey is full of moments where saying yes to bold opportunities and negotiating with courage completely changed his trajectory. He teaches from experience, not theory. And what's most inspiring? His message is this: if I can do it, you can too. Negotiation is confidence in action. When you negotiate, you're really doing something powerful. You're standing up for yourself. You're declaring that your time, ideas, and goals matter. That's why negotiation is one of the most empowering skills you can develop. Tim Castel views negotiation as the ultimate confidence exercise. Each time you prepare for a conversation, each time you calmly state your case, each time you ask for more, you're building something deeper than skill. You're building inner strength. And this isn't limited to business. Negotiation helps you improve your relationships, navigate conflict, protect your boundaries, and make clear decisions under pressure. What this audiobook will teach you. This summary will walk you through the principles, techniques, and mindset shifts Tim Castel outlines in his book. But it will also do something more. It will challenge you to think differently. You'll learn how to prepare like a pro, speak with clarity, handle objections with calm, and stay resilient, even when things get tough. You'll learn why preparation is 90% of success, how to build instant rapport and trust, what it takes to ask for what you want without fear, how to turn rejection into opportunity, and why mastering this skill could be the key to your next big breakthrough. Tim Castel is not promising you that negotiation is easy. He's promising that it's worth it. And with the right mindset, tools, and repetition, you can become the kind of person who negotiates boldly and lives without limits. So take a deep breath, stand tall, and get ready. Because this journey is not just about learning to negotiate. It's about learning to own your worth, speak your truth, and never settle again. Chapter 2: The Mindset of a Negotiator. Confidence, courage, and self-belief. Before you learn a single tactic or technique, you must first master the one thing that shapes every negotiation you'll ever be in: your mindset.
Mindset is one of the most important thing to create the reality which you want. So if you believe in something you can do, you can imagine it, and then you can work out to make it a reality. So that's why mindset is one of the most important thing you have to start with.
Tim Castel makes it clear. Negotiation isn't just about what you say. It's about how you think. Your beliefs, attitude, and internal narrative set the tone long before the conversation begins. And the negotiator who believes in their value, trusts their instincts, and walks in with courage wins more often than not. The inner game of negotiation. Castel argues that the most important part of negotiation happens before you even enter the room. It begins inside your mind. If you carry doubt, fear, or a sense of unworthiness, it will seep into your tone, your posture, your words. But if you walk in with quiet confidence and a clear sense of purpose, people feel it. That's the energy that shifts power. So what makes a strong negotiation mindset? Castel breaks it down into 3 foundational pillars. Self-belief. confidence in your value, courage to ask for more. Let's explore each one. 1. Self-belief. You are worth it. At the heart of every powerful negotiator is this unshakable truth. I deserve to be here. I deserve to ask. Tim Castel believes self-belief is the non-negotiable foundation. Without it, every tactic fails. With it, even average techniques produce results. You don't need to be the loudest voice in the room. You need to be the clearest. Self-belief means you know what you bring to the table. You trust your preparation. You recognize your right to advocate for yourself, your team, your business, your future. How do you build self-belief? By stacking small wins. By keeping promises to yourself. By rehearsing your worth until it becomes instinct. Affirm this. I am not here to beg for approval. I am here to create value and to claim what is fair. 2.
Yes.
Confidence in your value. One of the biggest mistakes people make is negotiating without a clear understanding of their value. They show up asking, but not knowing. Castel pushes you to do the inner and outer work. What are your strengths? What outcomes have you created for others? What makes your offer, product, service, or you valuable? Confidence isn't arrogance, it's clarity.
That's the important point.
What makes your offer, product, service, or you valuable? What makes your offer? What outcomes have you created? An outer working, but negotiating without a clear understanding of their value.
We should have a clear understanding of our values. Confidence is the key. Yep. Um, okay. So there are 3 points he mentioned. One is about the values. Yeah. About the values. Values. Familiarity. Okay, of values. Okay. So how we are going to get it?
Value. They show up asking, but not knowing.
Not knowing.
Castel pushes you to do the inner and outer work. What are your strengths?
So here it is. What are your strengths? 1 point. First point. Okay. The second one is
What outcomes have you created for others?
what outcomes. It's about outcomes. You created for others.
What makes your offer, product, service, or you valuable?
What your offer, service, or product makes you valuable. So we should have the clarity in these 3 parts, in these 3 areas. So it will give the hilarity of our values, what we are, what value we are bringing here for the other person.
Confidence isn't arrogance, it's clarity. You're not overpromising. You're stating facts. You're showing receipts. You're grounded in evidence of what you bring. And here's a secret.
Evidence is the key. You are grounded with evidence. Evidence, receipts, and also testimonials, portfolio, etc. Right?
People mirror your belief. If you sound unsure, they doubt you.
So that's the important thing as well. People mirror your beliefs. Beliefs.
If you speak with quiet authority, they lean in. Negotiation is not a favor. It's a value exchange. If you want to
Very
win
much essential.
consistently, you must own the value you bring to the table. 3. Courage to ask for more. This is where most people fail, not because they don't know how to negotiate, but because they're afraid to.
Negotiation
3. Negotiation is not a favor. It's a value exchange.
is
If you want to win
essential.
consistently, you must own the value you bring to the table. 3. Courage to ask for more. This is where most people fail, not because they don't know how to negotiate, but because they're afraid to. Fear of rejection, fear of offending someone, fear of hearing no. But Castle flips the script. A no is not rejection. It's just the beginning of the real conversation.
No.
He teaches that courage is a
No is the beginning of real conversation.
muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. The more you ask, the easier it gets. This isn't about being aggressive. It's about being bold. It's about stepping into your power and saying, this is what I want. And here's why it makes sense.
Okay, it is about being bold, being bold. Okay, this is what I want,
And saying, this is what I want. And here's why it makes sense.
and here is why it makes sense.
Because if you don't ask, you don't get. And if you don't believe in yourself enough to ask, you give the world permission to undervalue you. Castle's mantra is simple but transformative. If you don't ask, the answer is always no.
So, yep, if you don't ask, the answer is always no. So, ask.
Shifting from scarcity to abundance. Many people enter negotiations with a scarcity mindset. What if I lose the deal? What if they say no and walk away? What if I ruin the relationship? But Castle wants you to shift to abundance thinking. There's always another opportunity. I can negotiate respectfully and still protect my interests. If I prepare, I can walk away stronger, not weaker. A strong negotiator doesn't chase, they attract. And that only happens when you're operating from a mindset of worth, not worry. The unseen power of energy. People feel your energy before you even speak. Tim Castel says your body language, tone, eye contact, and breath all communicate who you are and what you believe about yourself. If you walk in like you belong, people treat you accordingly. If you walk in nervous and unsure, they respond to that too. So ground yourself. Take a deep breath. Stand tall. Be still. Know that you've earned your seat. You teach people how to treat you by how you treat yourself first. Building the daily habits of
That's the important thing. You teach people how to treat you
by how you treat yourself first.
By how you treat yourself first.
Building the daily habits of a confident negotiator. You don't wait until the big negotiation to build confidence. You build it daily. Castle encourages developing rituals that train your mindset. Start your day with affirmations. I am powerful. I am prepared. I am persuasive. Practice asking for small things daily. A discount, a change, an upgrade. This builds courage. Celebrate every time you speak up, even if the answer is no. Because confidence is built in the small moments, and those moments prepare you for the big ones. Final thoughts. This is your edge. Mindset isn't fluff, it's your edge. Before you write your pitch, before you calculate numbers, before you even enter the room, check your mindset. Ask yourself, do I believe I'm worthy of more? Am I clear on the value I bring? Am I willing to ask boldly and receive fully? If the answer is yes, then you are already halfway to success. Because as Tim Castel teaches, the most powerful negotiators are not the smartest in the room. They're the ones who believe they belong there. Chapter 3.
That's the important thing as
Castle
well.
teaches, the most powerful negotiators
The most powerful negotiators
are not the smartest
are not smartest
in the room.
in the room, but
They're the ones who believe they belong
they are the ones they believe
there. Chapter 3. They're the ones who believe they belong there.
they belong. They belong there.
Chapter 3. Preparation is everything mastering the pre-negotiation phase. If
Preparation.
confidence is your foundation, preparation is your armor. Tim Castel stresses that the most successful is your armor. If confidence is your foundation, preparation is your armor. Tim Castel stresses that the most successful negotiators don't wing it. They don't rely on charm or improvisation. Instead, they walk into every negotiation armed with research, strategy, and clarity. In
The preparation. Preparation.
rely on charm or improvisation. Instead, they walk into every negotiation armed with research, strategy.
They walked in the negotiation armed with
and clarity. Negotiation armed with research,
research, strategy,
and clarity.
and clarity. These are the important things. We know about the things, we know how to navigate, and we have the clarity where we are heading. So, research, strategy, and clarity.
In this chapter, Castle reveals the crucial behind-the-scenes work that separates amateurs from masters. Why preparation wins negotiations. Here's the truth. The moment the conversation starts is not the beginning of the negotiation. The real game starts long before you sit at the table or pick up the phone. Castle emphasizes, if you haven't prepared, you've already compromised. Prepared negotiators control the flow. They anticipate objections. They guide the narrative. They avoid surprises. And most importantly, they protect their leverage. Let's break down what true preparation looks like. 1. Know your goal, your desired outcome.
So, here's the clarity part. The first thing is that know your goal and desired.
Start with 1. Know your goal, your desired outcome.
And your desired outcome.
Start with absolute clarity. What do you want from this negotiation? What is your ideal outcome?
What do you want? What do you want out of this negotiation? What is your ideal outcome? I think so. That's it.
What do you want from this negotiation? What is your ideal
What is your ideal outcome?
outcome? What's your minimum acceptable deal?
What is your minimum acceptable deal?
Your walkaway point.
Your walkway point. Your walkaway points.
Castle calls this the goal anchor principle.
This is the goal anchor principle. Goal anchor principle.
Your goal becomes your anchor.
Goal becomes your anchor.
The point from which all other parts of the conversation adjust. If you don't set your anchor, the other side will set theirs, and you'll end up.
If you don't say your anchor, then other side do,
reacting instead of
and you end up reacting
leading.
instead of leading.
Ask yourself, is your goal clear, measurable, and realistic?
Ask, is your goal clear?
Ask yourself, is your goal clear, measurable,
Clear, measurable,
and realistic?
and realistic. Realistic can be like this seems not be the realistic to the other party, but for you this is realistic. And to make it realistic, you have the strategy and the way to make them understand that how this is realistic. They might be seeing from one path, but from another part that is realistic. So you have to make them understand that from the second part this is realistic. Yeah, from the first part from which you are looking to reach the point, it's not realistic, but from the other path which I am adjusting, it is realistic to achieve in this way. And you make them understand that, and they yeah, so that's how you make it realistic.
Have you rehearsed how to ask for it clearly? Without clarity, you risk negotiating blindly. 2. Understand their position and their pressure.
So
Next,
clarity is a must. Clarity. And the two, understand their mindset.
shift perspective in their position and their pressure. Next, shift perspective,
So it is
negotiating blindly. 2. Understand their position and their pressure.
okay, understand their position and their pressure.
Next, shift perspective. What does the other side want? What's
So we have to know about the other person here. So what the other person want, and we have to shift perspective. What other person want? Okay, that's the point. We should know about the other person.
Driving them. What fear
What's driving them? Seem like what are their values? What's driving them?
fears or deadlines are. What does the other side want? What's driving them? What fears or
What fears and deadlines
deadlines are influencing them?
are influencing them?
Tim Castel insists that great negotiators are great empaths. They think
Empathy means here
beyond their own needs. They
negotiators know
great negotiators are great empaths. They think beyond their own needs.
beyond their needs.
They map out the motives, priorities,
Yeah, they map out the motives.
they think beyond their own needs. They map out the motives, priorities,
Varieties, pretties,
and pain points of the person.
and pain points of the person
Across the table.
across the table. These are the very important point even if you are writing a sales copy or doing a sales. So all these points you cover to convert the lead.
Ask, what are their goals? What pressure are they?
So yes, ask about their goals. What their goals?
Ask, what are their goals? What pressure are they under?
What pressure are they under? You can make a Excel file of it as well to make it understandable. You can make the rows, what their goals are, rows or the columns, what their goals are, and then what their deadlines are, what their pressure points are, so you can prepare well and make the deal accordingly.
What would make them feel like they've won?
What make them feel like they won?
Castle calls this strategic empathy.
This is the strategy. This is the history, strategic, strategic empathy.
You're not just preparing your own pitch, you're preparing to understand theirs.
You are not preparing your own pitch, but also understanding.
You're not just preparing your own pitch, you're preparing to understand theirs.
But you are also preparing to understand theirs.
This makes your ask more relevant, persuasive, and harder to say no to.
This makes your ask more relevant, persuasive, and harder to say no. Okay, that's the
3.
conversion
Build
point.
your leverage points. Leverage isn't luck, it's built. Castle encourages identifying what gives you strength in the negotiation. Do you have unique expertise? Is there high demand for your offer?
Leverage points. Leverage points are these points which he mentioned here.
Castle encourages identifying what gives you strength in the negotiation. Do you have unique?
What gives you strength? What gives you strength in the
Identifying what gives you strength in the negotiation. Do you have unique expertise?
Shen? Do you have unique expertise?
Is there high demand for your offer?
Is there high demand of your offer?
Are there alternatives you could walk to?
Are there alternatives you walk to? So like walking a walking white out points.
Do they need a fast decision?
Do they need a fast decision?
Leverage is about having options and being willing to use them.
Leverage is more about having the options. Leverage is about having options and willing to use them.
The more prepared you are, the more power you carry. And remember, even the perception of leverage can shift power dynamics. Walk in like you have.
The more prepared you are, the more strengthful you are.
Have options, and the room will respond accordingly. 4. Prepare your opening set, the tone. Never underestimate the power of your opening. Castle urges you to script and practice your first few sentences. The way you open a negotiation.
Practice first few sentences.
Sets the tone for everything that follows. Are you confident? Are you respectful but firm?
Are you confident? Are you respectful but firm?
Are you steering toward your desired outcome right away?
Are you steering towards your desired
Are you steering toward your desired outcome right away? He recommends practicing aloud, using mirror rehearsals or role playing with a partner.
We we have to practice this via mirror or role play with partner.
Aim for calm, composed, and clear communication. No
That's the point as well. Aim for calm, compose, and confidence,
aim for calm, composed, and clear communication.
and clear communication. Clarity is the key. I I observe many times in life the clarity is the key to achieve many things in life which we want to achieve. Many things we are unable to achieve, even we have the resources and we are, you can say, we are really reserve something, but we are unable to achieve this because we don't have the hilarity what we want. So we should have the hilarity almost about everything.
Communication. No fluff, no hesitation, no doubt. Your first impression
Fluff, doubt, confusion uh, creates ambiguity, right? Fluff, doubt, confusion creates ambiguity. That is, uh, this is a pillar of your success.
is leverage. 5. Anticipate objections and have answers ready. If
Yeah, that's the point. Is the fifth point is anticipate objections. It's objections.
5. Anticipate objections and have answers ready.
And have answers ready.
If you've done your homework, you can predict the pushback.
So how we can anticipate it? By doing the homework homework and
Ready. If you've done your homework, you can predict the pushback.
and we can predict the pushbacks.
Tim Castel recommends listing out every possible objection or concern the other party might raise.
So listing out every possible objection. List out every possible objection.
Recommends listing out every possible objection or concern the other party might raise.
Or concern the other party might raise.
And then, crafting a clear, confident response to each one.
And then crafting a clear a clear confident response
Raise. And then, crafting a clear, confident response to each one.
to each
This does two things. It
one.
makes you look completely prepared. It removes fear from the process.
Okay, makes you look prepared. The second one is
It makes you look completely prepared. It removes fear from the process.
The fear part is going to be removed with this. It removes the fear part from the process.
You've already heard every no in your head.
Yeah, because you already heard every no in your head. As you already hear every no in your head. It seems like if you are proposing um, some, um, if you're proposing a person, so if you're prepared, so you're less fearful and you're much more stronger to make your proposal acceptable. So yeah, because you already heard every no in your mind. Uh,
Remember, objections aren't rejection. They're a sign that someone is engaged and evaluating.
so yeah, there's the sign. Someone is engaged. Objections, objections are not rejections. Objections are not rejection. It is a sign of engagement. That's the uh, that's the interesting point that we think that if someone is objecting, they disengaged, but in reality they are engaged. That's why they are thinking and processing and doing the engagement in the negotiation, in the communication.
Your job is to be ready, not rattled. 6. Know when to walk away. Your BATNA.
Your job is to be ready. Your job is to be ready.
Castle introduces the concept of when to walk away,
So,
not rattled.
there's the
6.
point.
Know when to walk away. Your BATNA.
So yeah, know when to walk away. Your BATNA. Hmm?
Castle introduces the concept of BATNA, best alternative to a negotiated agreement. In simple terms, it means this. What will you do if this negotiation?
What is called BATNA? It means that best alternative point or way.
In simple terms, it means this. Best alternative to a negotiated agreement.
Best alternative to negotiated agreement.
In simple terms, it means this. What will you do if this negotiation doesn't work out?
What will you do if this negotiation does not work out?
If you don't know your BATNA, you'll settle for less than you deserve.
Yeah, there's the important thing that if you don't know your alternative, if you don't know your alternative, then you get less what you deserve. Deserve, okay?
But if you're clear on it, you'll negotiate from a position of strength, not fear.
You negotiate from the position of strength,
But if you're clear on it, you'll negotiate from a position of strength, not fear.
not fear.
Tim's advice:
Yes.
always know your alternatives. Strengthen them in advance.
So it is the must have thing that you always know your alternatives. Okay.
Tim's advice: always know your alternatives. Strengthen them in advance. Be ready.
And strengthen them
Always know your alternatives. Strengthen them in advance. Be ready, mentally and emotionally, to walk if necessary. Walking away isn't failure. Sometimes it's the ultimate win. 7. Prepare the environment. Castle also advises
So yeah, prepare the environment. If you know where you're negotiating, then it gives you more leverage. Prepare your environment. The seventh point.
preparing the logistics. Where will the negotiation happen? Who else will be present?
Hmm. Where it is going to happen, where it is going to happen, who else present, and even I would say that who have the influence in the negotiation, even they are not present in negotiation.
How much time do you have?
How much time do you have?
Will it be formal or informal?
Formal, informal? We should know about it.
These small elements influence psychology. For
These influence psychology.
example, meeting in a neutral setting levels the playing field. Having more time reduces pressure. Controlling the space builds comfort and focus. It's not just what you say, it's where and how you say it.
Where
8.
you Howens, you said. It is
What you say. Controlling the space builds comfort and focus. It's not just what you say,
it's not just what you said.
it's where and
It is where the dimensions, space and time, where
how you say it.
and how you say it.
8. Practice mental rehearsal.
This is the practice mental rehearsal. Rehearsal.
Before game day, visualize success. Castle
So take Visualize success.
Teaches negotiators to mentally rehearse. Picture yourself walking in confidently.
Picture negotiation from start to end as how you walk in the room, communication, and till end.
Hear yourself making bold asks. Imagine pushback and see yourself.
Here you are making bold asks. Imagine pushbacks.
Handling it smoothly.
Self
Imagine pushback and see yourself handling it smoothly.
and see yourself handling smoothly.
Visualize the outcome you want, down to the handshake or agreement email.
Visualize from start and down to the handshake shake and
Visualize the outcome you want, down to the handshake or agreement email.
agreement email.
This trains your mind and body to perform under pressure. Athletes do it.
Yes, this train mind and body
Your mind and body to perform under pressure.
to perform under pressure. That's why we sometimes feel that we are really prepared when we are practicing something in a rehearsal, or we have all of the skills and the resources, but when we go into the real field we are unable to perform. It is because we haven't rehearsed it well, we haven't visualized it well, we haven't get familiarity what is going to happen, how we are going to work uh, around the way. So that's why the visualization is the key for the success as well.
Athletes do it. Performers do it. World-class negotiators do it too. Final thoughts. Be the most prepared person in the room.
Okay, so be the most prepared person in the room.
Tim Castel's advice is simple. If you prepare more than anyone else, you win more than anyone else. Negotiation isn't about being slick or manipulative. It's about being clear, grounded, and strategically ready. So
Clear, grounded, and strategically ready.
before your next negotiation, ask yourself, do I know exactly what I want? Do I know what they want?
Do I know exactly what I want?
yourself, do I know exactly what I want? Do I know what they want?
What they want? They want
Have I identified my leverage?
my leverage,
Am I prepared to handle objections?
objections. Am I prepared to handle objections? Objections, and what they are.
Do I have the confidence to walk if needed?
Confidence just to work out.
If the answer is yes, you're not just ready to negotiate, you're ready to lead.
It has to be yes to lead.
Answer is yes, you're not just ready to negotiate, you're ready to lead. As Castle says, preparation doesn't guarantee the result, but it guarantees your power. Chapter 4, Asking with Authority.
So preparation gives you power. So if you feel powerless, then see if you have prepared well or not. So we are going to resume after some time. Okay, so let's have it uh, then in part 2.